I'm Nicholas Thomas's father.
I'm Nicholas Thomas's mother.
He loved cars, he loves trucks, he loved working at his job as a mechanic. And that was what he was doing that day when officers came up and tried to serve him a warrant for probation fees, which amounted to, from what we understand, $170.
He was my handyman. And I always say, how many 23-year-olds would get out the car and pump gas? He would never let me pump my own gas. He would pump gas for me. You know, he was just a genuine kid. He loved his family, and he loved his baby, and he loved his father, and he loved his brother.
I guess he panicked, so he took off and he ended up jumping a curb. When he jumped that curb, that's when witnesses, they heard a loud boom, and they ran to see what was going on, and that's when they say that they saw Nicholas was where he could not move. And Officer Kenneth Owens from the Smyrna Police Department fired into the right passenger front and rear side of the vehicle, all in the windows. No bullets fired from up front. The officer said that he felt threatened. In fact, when he shot, he was standing behind a 5,000-pound GMC SUV. According to the coroner who I was spoken with, Nicholas was shot under his right armpit, which suggests that he had his hands raised up in that vehicle when Kenneth Owens shot into the vehicle. His life expired on the scene. Our attorneys went to retrieve evidence at the scene because Goodyear does have a camera system. The owner stated that the police department was there, they got the evidence, and they deleted the information because we were not able to retrieve any information because the files had been deleted. To me, that sounds like you're not policing, you're covering things up, and so I'm very concerned about that. The vehicle was incapacitated, and at the time that that vehicle stopped, witnesses say that the vehicle couldn't go anywhere else. He was stopped, and that's when Kenneth Owens chose to fire inside the vehicle, not knowing recklessly whether or not a child was in there, whether a customer was in the car. It was just excessive force, and I believe that, you know, afterwards they shot the bean bags, which are supposed to be non-lethal shots. That should have been first rather than firing a .40 caliber bullet or bullets into a vehicle not knowing what you're shooting at. As far as what we know, we haven't been told anything, and that's why basically we've had an outcry as to what are timelines. Give us some kind of information as to how we're not asking for information about the investigation, we're just asking how it's progressing, if there's anything missing, if they've spoken to witnesses. We don't know anything.
We were also told by the Smyrna police chief and the DA basically that Kenneth Owens will not be going back to work until this case is closed. And it's just being disrespectful to the family, to the public, and to anybody that's been involved in this case, that it's just basically just spitting in our face like, you know, we're not going to do anything. He's back at work already. So it's just a disgrace.
Why has it not been publicly publicized in the media that our child was unarmed when he was gunned down? Lastly, for me, why is it that Kenneth Owens was the only shooter who chose to shoot? There's got to be some kind of tactical training rather than just running up on people, pulling out weapons, and just ready to fire because you have a blue uniform on and a badge. You really think that excessive force was used here, including having SWAT officers on the scene for a young man, 23 years old, for probation violation fees. It's heinous, it's unprofessional, it's corruptness, and I believe that anytime officers are found to disregard the law and create crimes, they should be prosecuted.
And they're not above the law, you know. They're not judge, jury, and executioner. And they're not above the law.
And we understand running from the police is a crime, but it's not a crime punishable by death.